creates at least anywhere from 2 to 5 dB loss doing something like that on a mast in the center of your tree. I wouldn't go that way. That's too much rejection.
I didn't know that.
But, now if you stop and think about this, if you look at your amateur radio book, and believe it or not, you can make an antenna out of a good old oak tree. You can turn your chain link fence into a ground plane. If you got a good amount of chain link fence around your property, you can turn that into a ground plane plus your antenna, believe it or not. I mean, that's just, yeah, that's just shit I've read in the past, man, through that amateur book. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, it shows you how to do it step by step.
Yeah, I was going to go with a 3-element beam, you know, like an Astro beam or something. But the guy said, you know what, if you're going to do something, you might as well put up the beam that you want.
I'm not too crazy about astral beams, no. They don't seem to radiate as well as a laser or a moonraker or a comet or superstar or yeah, comets, yeah, anyhow. Yeah, I'm not crazy about an astral beam. I don't know. I just never liked the looks of them, and they don't seem that durable in the wind up against like a PDL-2 or a comet.
Well, I had one. I had a little black radio, tube radio 4010 on. I cannot think of the name of it. And I had a little 100-watt linear, homemade linear. I had my Astro beam. What we did, we pounded this mass pipe into the ground with a sledgehammer. You know, added 2 or 3 sections of pipe. You know, and then my little mass pipe to hold it. And we like bolted it to the house. And I had it for years, you know, till my home burnt. But I talked all over the world with that.
Yeah, Tim. Well, I don't know. It's different strokes for different folks, you know. I mean, like I said, impedance is the important thing with your coax to your antenna. You know, like that guy come out earlier and was talking on a fiberglass stick that we use on the mirrors of our trucks, you know. They was moving in here like gangbusters, you know, but it's always good to stay, anyhow, you always want to stay in the evens, or the odds, yeah, even numbers of your coax, you know. And for running a base antenna, the best coax is that 215, the RGU 215. And get it double insulated, and I mean, I don't know how much coax is now. I think it was like, it used to be like 215 a foot, you know, so it does get spendy, believe it or not, but, you know, it's all about the coax and the antenna.
Well, I have that thin gray coax because I liked it because I used to have that big black stuff, the thick stuff. And man, when that stuff got cold, you couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, you're talking that RG58 gray coax, Mini 58 or whatever, kind of like RG, yeah. It's RG58 coax. But the 215 is like the size of your finger, your bird finger, you know. Yeah, when it's cold, yeah, it's hard to maneuver, you know, to mess around with it, you know, because of that insulation inside. You know, it's a different type of insulation compared to most coax. You know, some's soft and some's kind of medium soft or whatever, but RGU 215, RG58, you know, those are about the 2 best coax you can use out there. You can get it in mini, you can get it in black, you can get it in gray, you can get it in the copper coating or whatever, but, you know, the clear coating, but that's all good coax, but I'm going to tell you something that's funny here. You're going to think I'm talking shit, but I've got an antenna sitting up at my house, and I'm talking on it with Mako V5As, but I'm using 95 ohm coax, and your 58, you know, it's like 50 ohms, but and I'm using 95 ohm coax, and it's satellite cable coax. I'll tell you what, and it's all on the even side, you know. Like I'm talking on a piece that's like 250 feet long, and I can't even begin to tell you how my standing wave ratio is from 0 to 0, 0 to 1 to 1.1. You really don't have to do that much of adjustment to your antenna when you're setting your SWRs, you know.
Yeah, well, I got my SWR here, 1 to 1, because it's hardly moving.
1 to 1, when you're talking, he goes up to 1 to 1?
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's sweet. So you must have, what happens when you key up? What does your standing wave ratio say when you're keyed up and not talking?
Barely move.
So it's staying 0 to 1 or 1.1?
0 to 1.
Perfect. I wouldn't mess with it.
Yeah, I have, because this guy put it up on the roof for me, climbed the roof, and this other guy tested it, you know, to get it in line.
That's cool. I was going to ask you, what kind of, let's see. Do you have guide wires up?
No, I got it on a chimney. I got that Antron 99. That's real light.
Okay, yeah, that's fiberglass, 3-stage fiberglass. You know what? Take your Antron 99, take the top one off, and put a 102-inch whip on top of it.
Oh, is that right?
You'll be a full wave and a half. How do you say? Okay, it'll be a full wave and a half antenna. Man, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about staying 0 to 1 to 0 to 0? Put a 102-inch whip on top of that Antron, and now tell me how you like it when you get it done.
You'll talk better with it?
You'll be apprised of what happens with it. And a lot of people don't know that. I mean, there are people that know about it, and I've seen a lot of people do it. They even actually take a 102-inch fiberglass stick and replace that, you know, that top piece of the Antron. They'll take that off, because that's what, like a 6-foot, 5-foot piece up top there. But yeah, if you put a 102-inch on top, man, I'll tell you what, you'll be amazed at just how far you'll talk and how much impedance and how much how much the antenna radiates for dB output. You know, you'll be amazed. It'll actually double. It'll almost double. It doubles. It'll be 6 over what an Antron 99 is. And I think an Antron 99 is what, 13 to 12 dBs? You'll actually gain 18.
Yes, I didn't know that, you know. But what about that, the top part? I mean, that thing will bend, right?
Yeah.
So there's no danger of it breaking?
No, not if you take care of your Antron the way you're supposed to, you know. Before it gets all fiberglassy, you know, the clear coat comes off, you know, as long as you babysit it and take care of it like you're supposed to, you know, just keep clear coating the shaft up when it's been out there too long and you haven't done nothing. You know, like people have Antron 99s up in the air and it looks like they've been there for years, but I guarantee you when you go to grab a hold of that antenna, you're going to feel fiberglass in your hands, you know. You want to keep that fiberglass sealed so that you're not losing any of the radiation that is being radiated to transmit your signal.
Yeah, there's no way I can do that because I live on the second floor, but mine's on a chimney. I got to be up there 60 feet or more.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, just a thought, you know, FYI, no big deal. I mean, if you're watching your antenna, I mean, me personally, when I was into this hot and heavy, I used to babysit my antennas all the time. I changed my coax like every 2 to 3 years. I've got a Mako V5.8 up in the air. I bring it down every 2 years and replace the clamps. You know, put new screws in the gamma ring. really haven't messed with it, and I know I've got to bring it down sometime, you know, because I know my, what is it? A 16-gauge wire for the diamonds on them PDL2s there, you know, you got to change those out. You know, copper does eventually start corrosion, and you got to change those out every once in a while. But, you know, yeah, it's all about babysitting your antennas and making sure everything's smooth operating.
Yeah, I figure when I go, if I put my beams up, I'm going to take the Antron down and put one on the side of the house. I'll put a, what's it called?